Hello everyone, so welcome back. So today we shall going to tackle a very interesting SQL interview question, the scenario based SQL interview question, which mostly is asking the product based company such as Amazon, Facebook, and so on. So the question is, the scenario is the company allows only one entry to the employees in a day. So while the employee entering the company, you need to give email ID. So, but there's a loophole where the same person can use another email ID and still enter the organization again. So management or the security personnel of the organization have notices that loophole. So they want to so they want to so they want to track that loophole. So they want to track that loophole. So so they want to find the name, the most visited flow, the total visit, and the resources used. So, for example, Eric visited how many times? He visited 3 times using different email. And while visiting, he visited flow number 1 twice and flow number 2 only once. And then he uses laptop in flow number 1 and he uses computer in flow number 2. Also, we have Mutiso. Mutiso also visited the organization 3 times and using different email, as you can see. And in he visited flow 2, and in flow 2 he uses computer, and in flow 1 he uses projector. So the management or the personnel security want to track how many want to track the names, the most visited flow by each and every person, and then we have the total number of visits in each and every person, and then the resources these people use in that particular day. So first of all, we will have to find we'll find we'll find a table containing the most visited flow, and then we're going to find another table containing the total visit and the name and the resources used these people used, and then you're going to join these two tables using with an help of CTE. So let's first of all start. So we can start by writing select. So we are finding so we can write select name. So we are finding the most visited flow. So and write select and then flow and then up, and then we can count and then we can call this as number of flow visits from our table here, which is it's called logs. So we can copy, and then we can group by we can group by name and flow. So we can copy So if you run this, you can see we're going to get the number of visit by each person for each floor. So for example, Eric in floor 2, he visited once. Mutiso in floor 1, he visited also once. Mutiso in floor 2, he visited twice, and Eric in floor 2, in floor 1, he visited twice. But our target is, or our question is, we are only interested with the most visited floor by each person. So the most visited floor are floor 2 by Mutiso visited. The most visited floor by Mutiso is floor 2, and the most visited floor by Eric is 1. So we can introduce another column where we can rank the most visited floor by each person. So we can write, let's include another column, say rank, then can write over, then partition by order by this one. So we are ordering by this, the number of comes. So we are ordering by descending, and we can call this one as, let's just call it RNK, say rank. So if we run this, order by, we are partitioning by name, and then we are ordering by count. And then we run this. Sorry. So if we run this, so we can see, for Eric, we can see we've ranked the number of floor, the number of floor visit by each person. So for example, Eric, we can see floor 1 is visited most. So Eric visited floor 1 twice, and it's ranked number 1. And then Eric visited floor 2 once, and it's ranked number 2. And then we have Mutiso. Mutiso visited floor 2 twice, and it's ranked number 1. Then also Mutiso visited floor 1 only once, and it's ranked number 2. So we are only interested with the most visited floor. Most visited floor by each person. So that means we are only interested with the rank number 1. So rank number 1 for Eric and rank number 1 for Mutiso. So that will be floor 1 and floor 1 by Eric and floor 2 by Mutiso. So we can use a where clause so that we can filter using this rank column. So that case we can use CTE and say with, say, floor visits as flow visitors. So we can write select the from the flow visit. So we can alias this as F, and then we say where RNK equals to to 1. So basically we're just filtering the position 1 in each and every person. So if we run this, so we can have the most visited flow are is 1 and 2. So basically we can decide to only have the name and the most visited flow. So we can just write f dot name and then f dot flow as, so we can call it most visited flow. So this one will give us the name and the most visited flow. So the most visited flow by Erick was flow number 1, and then the most visited flow by Mutiso is flow number 2. So now we need to find another table that will contain the total visit and the resources used. So for that case, we can come up with another city. We can just write another city. Can say with. So this one we can call it total visit. Total visit. Visits as total visitor. So we are finding now the total visits and the resources used. So for that case, we can write select and then let's say name. Then we're going to count as total visits, and then so we'll also have to combine these resources here. So we'll just have to horizontally combine this. So for example, laptop. So we'll have something like laptop, then comma, and then computer. So for Erick, he used laptop and computer. So we will horizontally combine these two, laptop and computer. And then for Mutiso he used computer and project. So we'll combine these two item horizontally. So that case we can write string arg, and then write resources. Yeah, so we and then we can, so we want to separate this item using comma. So we can, and then we put a comma, and then we close, and we call this one as, resources. Resources used, from our table here, from our table which is logs, and then we group by. So we are grouping by, we are just grouping by name. Yeah, and then we can close this. Yeah, and then we put a comma. So this table here will give us the total visit and the resources used. But if you look at the resources used, you can see there's a repetition of the item. So to remove that repetition, we can just include distinct here, distinct resources, and then so if you run this, it will give you the item without any repetition. So you can see, so Eric, he uses computer and laptop, and Mutiso uses computer and projector. So let's expand so that you can clearly see it. Yeah. So we have the table that give us the total visit and resources used, and also the table that give us the table that give us the most visited floor. Yeah, so for this case we will join these two table, this one, this table, and this table here, the total visit and floor visit, and then we'll come here and then join the total visit table, so we can copy total visit, that is, then you can call this one T, and we are joining based on, name. So name is the common column of both of these two columns. So you can write T dot name equals to the f dot name. So if we run this, so we also needed to include the column for total visits. So you can include column for total visit here, comma, column for total visit, that is the total visit, and the resources used. So you can write T dot total visit and T dot resources used. sources used. So if we run this now, we're going to get our final table. So you can see this is the most visited flow, and then we have the total visit, and then we have the resources used. So if you have found this video helpful, kindly drop a comment on the video that you want me to cover in the next session. Thank you.